When director Garry Robson went to his first Vogue ball, he had a light bulb moment.
I just was watching it and I was thinking, my God, some of these moves, they were so reminiscent to me of BSL. It's a lot of upper body, it's a lot of hand movement and face work. And I just thought this is made for kind of incorporating BSL within it.
The movements in Vogue come from the Black and Latino gay culture in New York as far back as the 70s. They emulate People of Power magazine images from Vogue magazine.
It was essentially, it was oppressed communities kind of finding their voice within a dance culture. And that's what really appealed to me, because it felt like the community that was missing from this, what I was seeing with the Vogue work, was the deaf and disabled community. And thus came about the idea of the Unlimited House of Krip.
There is a similarity between sign language and Vogue, which it's a perfect partnership between, it's a perfect integrating movement together. Maybe in two together, maybe in threes, yeah?
Fittings producer Darren Suarez put out a call for people to audition, and they held a series of auditions in Liverpool. I was one of the dancers hoping for a place, and I got it. We had the dancers, now we needed the music. Juggernaut, a sick rapper, producer and composer who has loads of experience of working with diverse groups, was brought in to work with us.
You guys know about voguing and like the kind of music you use, that kind of ish. So a lot of it is quite house based, and you know it's about the rhythm and syncopation. So what I'd like to do is find out what you guys are into.
I like the mainly it's the bass.
Bass
Gives me the feel of the music.
Yeah.
Well.
So it's like for you, it's like bass, rhythm,
not
and
too much music in between, because it's a bit like like bass and a bit of music.
I thought
lyrics and words. It's more like you can express that better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I do love a bit of bass.
Because
especially if you're doing say sort of a hip hop ish kind of piece.
Yeah.
I like, and it's quite dirty.
Yeah.
You need to feel that.
Yeah.
Me and my friends go to a club and it's like house music, and we kind of take that on more. When I'm at home, I like to listen to jazz music.
R&B. Then a type I kind of like, you know, with a definite beat that goes through that, and you know, it makes me feel that beat, it can feel that rhythm going through me. Also for me, you know, with being deaf, you know, you can feel the bit, nothing too high, so some, you know, beats that are quite low. Nothing too high, we can't feel those type of beats, so it needs to be quite a low bass.
I can hear high pitch, and I can hear the single.
I
don't know if you could hear the single. But it was, and then in between it.
With the dancers, some of them have different levels of hearing and feeling.
I hear music with my cochlear implant, and I hear all the beats in the music, and I also feel the music as well, by vibrations as well. Without it, I just feel vibrations. I can't hear nothing at all.
I'm profoundly deaf in this ear and thoughtfully deaf in this one. No, I'm severely deaf in this one. But with a hearing aid, I can hear many, many things. I feel rhythm through music, if there's percussion. I don't necessarily get the notes, but I get the emotion and the tone, the feeling from music. Oh yeah.
Charlie really feels the bass more, and the same with Ariel, so like they really have the feeling, so I got them to do the bass line on another track and the kick drum and stuff, which is the bit that really hits you hard, and especially when you're doing the dancing and stuff, they need to feel it. So the way I got them to do the beats was I've got some a little keyboard, an Akai keyboard with some pads, and they tap them out themselves. So I got them for a couple of minutes to get used to the tempo of the track and actually feel what notes felt right to them, and then they did it themselves, and you know that's what resonates with them basically, and it worked really well. So I've got some ideas of where I can go with it with the next sort of mix.
At the Vogue Ball, there are 6 different categories. The choreography category is where the judges look for a theme: execution of Vogue, execution of theatre, costume, narrative, and the storytelling. Garry came up with the idea of doing Richard III. Lucas is going to be Richard, and it's great because Mark Smith from Deaf Man Dancing is working with us as our choreographer.
And then when I turn back, that's it.
My role is to create a storyline through the choreography, and we've used Richard III, the Shakespeare play Richard III, and I've incorporated the storyline in it too, as well as incorporating sign language in it, where I've used quotes and lines from the play. Plan to think, right, I'm going to kill Clarence.
The choreography has a good connection to the story. We have the story and the ideas, but I need to polish the arms, not be too floppy. They need to be straight and sharp. And the choreography is good. I love the death drops. I'm so happy so far, now that it's clear. I'm curious to know what will happen next. Very excited.
Another category is lip sync, and Carol is a world famous sign-song diva. So it's a no-brainer that she was chosen to compete in it. But there's a problem: the songs she knows are all too long.
That's what it is.
Right, is there any way that we could have it?
Another category is sex siren.
Sex Siren is a slightly bit filthy. It's about hot bodies, it's about a display of simulating sex, not actually full nudity or anything hardcore, but it is about the imagination.
The category fantasy is a chance for costume designers to create costumes of their dreams. We're working with the fabulous Alexandra Martin.
What would be my ideal outfit? It would be something that when I spun round, it went out.
We do that during BSL. You need to show the hands clearly. Show green.
Yes, yes. And it's a similar colour and it merges, that's fine. Because if you get yellow spots on green, it makes it straight, makes the siding straight. So if you just wear it.
Realness is a category where you let your alter ego run wild and free. And then there's the solo category, which is judged in the same way as choreography. But you're on your own. With the solo category, you have to battle with other houses. I think that's the most scary because you don't know who you're battling against. Now, for me, that's frightening for me. It's terrifying.
I was really worried about the solo. Oh, my nerves. But I tried to express my own identity. I'm playing Rat, so I did all these kind of movements, and I did really well. And I'm walking and trying not to think too much. I'm trying to be free and just Vogue.
Last night, I practiced by myself and I had to create something. And today, this morning, I woke up and I practiced, and then I showed my solo and I felt very much myself.
I've never Vogued before, so it's an amazing opportunity to have. But there's that little bit of fright because I haven't done it before. That, I want to get it right. I want to execute it just to a T. But it's that kind of excitement within the fright because it's new to what I've done before. Then I'm like, okay, challenge, got to do it. Don't be frightened.
True.
It's really exciting working with Mark, integrating British Sign Language, BSL, into the choreography. We're doing it with 7 Deadly Sins, which is the theme of the ball, and also using our keywords from our soundtrack. Everyone's got different ideas, everyone's different thoughts of how to incorporate their own BSL and the personalities and how you see people's confidence are in different areas. I'm most looking forward to is the performance of our House of Krip, because I'm really looking forward to the conclusion of the costumes, conclusion of the routines, conclusion of each category that we're going to do. I'm just so excited of what our house is going to bring, because it's something that's never been done before, and I'm just really excited to just get everyone out there and show what we are.
The first day I was a little bit, voguing, but as time went by it's much better. I'm used to it and I'm getting more experienced and progressing, so I'm feeling very confident. Very interesting choreography. I'm learning a lot of new ways with signing, with the dance and all the BSL we're doing. It's brilliant.
I feel that the choreography is progressing really well, because it's a combination of 3 things. 1, the Vogue. 2, the story and Mark's style of dance. And 3, the BSL. And it's all coming together so well. This piece is going to be so unique. I think it's wonderful.
One of our team isn't happy with the Vogue style and wants to leave. Our producer, Adrian, breaks the news to us.
Lucas isn't going to be in the house. He'll explain it all to you properly in depth in his things, but he's not feeling very comfortable with the Vogue movements and the Vogue, you know, the technique and all that sort of thing.
I do think it's important that we find a 4th who needs to play Richard.
There is potential, very small potential, of doing it with a house of 3.
I think 3 on such a big runway is a lot of pressure, especially for something new that you've not done before.
He felt that it was better for us all, and I commend him on thinking about us all and making a very hard decision to leave.
We're not going to bring in another dancer, because you're happy with that in choreography, aren't you, working with what we've got?
Yeah, it's fine.
Brilliant, fantastic.
So now, there's only 3 of us doing the choreography, and Ariel is the new Richard. Finally, it's time to find out who's performing in which category.
Ariel, you're going to do solo?
Yeah. Okay.
So we know the 3 of you will be in choreography with the Richard III theme. Charlie's doing fantasy.
That's right.
Yeah. Natasha's realness. And Ariel, you're also going to do sex sirens? Great.
Well, I was really shocked, and I really liked him being there in our choreography. At first, he was being King Richard, and I was one of the 3 dancers around him. But then Adrian said, now there's just going to be 3 of us, and I'm going to be Queen Richard. I accepted it, and obviously it was a big shock to us, and we really miss him, but we've had to move on and keep rehearsing with myself as Queen Richard.
We start to work even harder than before, because there's a lot of time to make up. Juggernaut has been working hard as well, and has more ideas now the parts have been cast.
With the solo piece, I was told that Ariel's going to do like a samurai kind of inspired thing, so it sent my brain whizzing straight away. I knew where to go with it, so I got some sword sound effects and fighting, and went to the Chinese movies, pulled something from the Wu-Tang and that kind of stuff. So, and then I got like a classic like piece of Japanese music and sampled it and put it in. Today I had a skeleton of the choreography track, and everyone liked it, but it wasn't quite right for the piece. The only thing I'm worried about is having something that's going to fit with the rest of the stuff that's being played on the night. Because they're talking about having, you know, because it's the Richard III theme and stuff, having something a bit orchestral and that kind of stuff, which I can do, but that's more pressure for them to stand out in that way, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I saw what they were doing, and there's different parts to it, so they needed to be like, there's a dramatic scene where there's a stabbing in it, so I went with like classical samples within it with the house beat, so I found another sample that's really dramatic, that's going to work really well for that scene, so there's like a stabbing and it's like, nah, nah, nah.
I think the most challenging part will be in the ball for me is the music. Because we've just figured out that we all hear different parts of the music.
What you need to take into account is that we have this. One baby speaker. In the ball, we have 12 motherfucking big speakers. So, will that muffle the sound? Will that create problems?
We're all getting a bit nervy now, with only a few days to go. We really need to get rehearsing in a space that mirrors the runway at the ball, and we still haven't finalised costumes. It's really exciting, finally, getting measured for costumes. We all gave our ideas and now it's actually happening.
My category is fantasy. I didn't really decide on the person I wanted to be in fantasy, and I didn't have much time to research it. So I had to think about what I wanted to do, and then the next day I grabbed a few ideas, I looked at Google. I was originally looking at a merman, a sort of sea creature, and then Adrian said to me, why not do a toxic theme? And I thought, wow, that is perfect. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. It's perfect for the performance because I can be deadly and dirty, and we talked about having oil in the background and having a net with dead birds in that I drag around because they're all caught up in an oil spill in the sea.
Ready? Yeah. We get round here.
I'm going to be doing realness in one of the categories. I want to tell a bit of a story from previous personal experience of past relationships and the old me being shy and unable to stand up for myself because I've been treated badly. I will be very quiet, I will not say a word, not speak up, not stand up for myself because I was not that kind of person back then. So basically from the old me to the new me is showing my journey. Part of it is about owning who you are as a person and be proud of it. So me being proud as a deaf person also is a mixed race, which I'm half black and white, which I thought was relatable to nowadays.
I feel like that translates like that sort of fierceness.
I like all this. I do like it. Yeah.
If the series could end before the list, it'd be good for assignment. Yeah. I will be doing the lip syncing category, and all week I've been pushing and pushing for which song they want me to lip sync. After some period of unsureness, I thought, oh, maybe I can do I Need a Man for Lust, sung by Annie Lennox, because I know that song already. And so I started working on that, and then I got talking to Darren, and I said, oh, I still don't know what song I'm doing. I need someone to say, you're doing this. And Darren said, well, I've heard you do Bohemian Rhapsody and Wuthering Heights, things like that. And I said, yes, I do, but it's signing, not lip syncing, but I can add lip syncing. Anyway, I showed Darren the Wuthering Heights, and he said, you're doing that. So that's it. I'm doing Wuthering Heights with windblown hair and a windblown frock.
Just hair, a bit more than this.
Dress be windswept as well.
Yeah.
a little bit of
We'll get something out there.
wild.
Another category is sex siren. Costume wise, I'm thinking I'll maybe be behind a curtain. It's going to be quite sensual, and I think I might take some clothes off to reveal my body and then walk back down the runway.
Just to add it on around here, just to keep the bum in place for you when you're dancing.
I quite like the bum being on show.
Okay, that's fine by me, it looks great.
That's the point of it. So it's all going to come off, so you can just wash it off when you finish fancy.
We're having to finalise things like costumes and makeup now. Helen Birkinshaw, our makeup artist, is putting in the final touches to our characters. It's really exciting, but it's all getting really close.
I developed a unique way of working with deaf dancers where I get, I sit down with the dancers and we listen to the music that Jack's composed, especially for the House of Krip. And we worked out the counting of how many counting and when there's a voiceover moment, how many counting for that, and then we go back to one which is music, and all sorts of, or when there's no beat, that could be like 4/8. So me and the dancers worked out the counting through the music from the beginning to the end. It's very helpful for them because when they are going to perform at the Vogue ball, it's going to sound different and feel different, including the crowd shouting, screaming their head off. So, and just it helps them to keep control and stick with the counter so they've got a backup.
And if I fail, I'll be content.
This is a really big ask for us. The team has been great, we've been working our socks off, but we've only had 2 weeks, and the big unknown is what impact the electric atmosphere at the ball will have on us.
I think I'm in denial that it's in 2 days. I think it's like next week or something.
Yes, I'm ready, I'm confident.
A fantasy? Yes, I'm ready. But the choreography needs polishing.
I can feel like we're quite ready, kind of ready. I think we're all just overthinking it a bit too much.
Don't be afraid, speak your mind. It's the night of the ball and I've hurt my leg.
I pulled it performing yesterday in rehearsals. I pulled it on my right, but now I pulled it on my left today because we weren't warmed up and it's freezing in the factory because the shutters were open. The rain was coming in and it's got on my leg and I'm cold and I just pulled it on the stage.
It may be freezing, but it's an amazing atmosphere and every other house is welcoming us.
Great, and I'm the mother of the House of Decay, one of the other houses. Okay, yeah. It's wonderful to have you here.
I mean, they can't go too big in this, really. I mean, the only thing I would say is they're still, for me, slightly rushing a bit.
It's nerve-wracking knowing it's about to happen, but exciting at the same time. It's hard to describe how we're feeling.
You're a beautiful team, support one another, keep one another warm, and have a lovely night. Mwah. You've been fantastic to work with, I love you all. Bravo. It's looking good. I guess my big concern now is then it's going to be quite a leap. We've been performing this in a dance studio, you know, sort of upstairs in a Merseyside Youth Association in the middle of Liverpool, and suddenly they're going to be in front of 1,500 people, you know, all around them. very noisy people shouting and cheering and squealing and screaming and drinking. And then it's all about confidence. It's all about having that chutzpah to really put it over. It's also about remembering your moves at the same time and not being daunted, but becoming even bigger really by feeding off the atmosphere and becoming even bigger. And that's the real challenge. And we really don't know if any of these guys are going to be able to do this. They may shrivel and freeze.
Charlie is first up in fantasy. I thought he was nervous, but Adrian is worse than him. I guess because he's been so involved in the ball culture over the years, and he knows exactly what can go wrong.
The performance was good and everybody cheered. It felt really quick, like 30 seconds, not 1 minute.
And now it's my turn. My legs are like jelly, my heart is racing. I know if I can get there, I can do it. Caro is next with lip sync. I know she's gonna blow them away. They've never had anything like Caro before.
I hate this fucking curtain.
Ariel is next in Sex Siren. I know she's nervous, but I also know she'll kill it. Everything is moving so fast. And before we know it, this is it. After all our hard work, this is finally it. The choreography category and on the actual runway. It's us, the Unlimited House of Krip.